Hello, and welcome to the Inbetween podcast. I'm your host, Joe Scott. I'm joined by Tony Tonesadotty. How's it going, Tony?
Hello. What's with the name of this podcast?
Is it because it's a question mark?
Yeah.
I put a
What's going
question
on?
mark on Twitch because I had a question mark last week. I have no idea what we're going to be talking about. Like, what's the big topic from that
Right,
week
right,
until I
right.
rant about it for 5 hours. So,
Yeah.
usually the title of the podcast comes on the YouTube video when I know what's the funniest part.
Right, right. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Um, but yeah, you got that Twitch exclusive title.
It's never gonna be seen outside of Twitch.
Trying to think if there's any random news you want to talk about this week before we get into the trailers.
Well, I think we just go for the world record pace
The
on this
new record
podcast
pace.
speed run. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Tony, we've got huge news this week. SpongeBob SquarePants is coming to Minecraft as officially licensed DLC.
What?
What do you think of
Oh my
this?
god. Uh,
It's like we talked about the Star Wars
what?
one as well.
Yeah.
Where I think it's cool because they make like these entirely themed adventures around the characters. Like they actually make content for what's
Yeah, they put a
essentially
lot
like
of effort into
they
this.
put a lot of effort into what's essentially could have just been skin and map packs. I feel
Yeah.
like, but I think it is like cool to see. Like obviously, I play Minecraft Java, so I never interact with the Bedrock Edition store. But I do think this stuff is pretty cool. Like it looks really clean. So
I think it's not for me, but I don't have a problem with it existing and like making money. Like it seems like pretty legit.
yeah. Next up we have Entropy 02, Tony.
Oh yeah,
We did a
yeah,
Tangerine on Entropy 01,
yeah,
and I was like, I'm gonna watch our Tangerine to see what I said about it. I said it was a mixed bag, and that it got like I felt like weirder and like more confusing as it went along. The level design was and puzzle design
yeah.
got like pretty confusing. There was some interesting stuff in the first mod, and also I like the fact that it was on Steam.
Right.
But during that video, Tony, I said, "Wow, they're making a sequel called Entropy 02. I am going to play it." And
You
yeah,
actually said that.
I actually said that in the video. So,
Okay.
but
Wow.
this is the because normally I don't like to talk about mods until they're actually at least have an announced release date.
Yeah,
Because you see some of these, fucking like Bethesda mods are notorious for this, or
yeah.
it's Valve mods like Half-Life mod and stuff like that. You see one trailer, and then 5 years later, it just never comes out. Like, um,
It takes a long old while to get out.
so many of these like mod projects are cancelled.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Well, some are like really big.
so if you don't know what Entropy Zero is, basically the idea of Entropy Zero was you were playing Half-Life from the side of the bad guys, so you were playing as a Combine soldier instead.
Trying to hunt down the Freeman.
Yeah, you are hunting down which isn't the first time this has happened because in
Right.
opposing force in Half-Life One, you play as Corporal Shepard,
Yeah.
who's you're hunting down. You are literally hunting down the Freeman in that game.
Yeah.
Because there's also another mod that's coming out, which I just said I don't like talking about mods that don't have release dates, but people
Yeah.
the reason that one's interesting is because it's like a direct sequel to Opposing Force, and they brought back some of the original they brought back some of the original voice actors from Half-Life One to work on the mod. So I was like, oh, that's
That's
pretty
pretty cool.
cool. But obviously,
Yeah.
I won't dive into that one until we actually see something about it. It looks like the story of this one is um, you have to hunt down Judith Mossman. That's the story of this one, and you're set up as
Okay.
like a Combine elite. Um, so at the end of spoiler alerts for Entropy 01, I guess, although the story was too particularly interesting about the game, was that they set it up so you sort of turned away from the Combine and started fighting back against them, sort of thing.
Right.
And then at the end, I think you got captured and then reprogrammed to be working for the Combine again, sort of thing. And now you're like a Combine elite. But from the trailer, it seems like you're going to the Borealis, which is where you see like this aperture technology. Because if you don't know the story of Half-Life 2, it ends with you're going to go to the Borealis, and the Borealis is this famed ship that has the aperture science like portal technology in it. So in this mod trailer video, you're seeing like a portal grenade, looks like a really cool weapon. Like this could just be like a really cool tech demo at the end of the day, if it's nothing else, just to see
Yeah,
some of these ideas explored.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, Tony, August 20th, and this one's also on
I'll write it
Steam.
down.
It's also
Okay.
on Steam, so you can put on your wish list, Tony. I know you love putting games on your wish list.
Yeah, yeah. Right,
Um,
right to the wish list.
but it's weird because like Valve will just put random mods on Steam, but then they'll like ghost Open Fortress and Team Fortress 2
Yeah,
Classic for like a year about being added to Steam. It's like they're just so fucking random when it comes to these mod things. I don't know.
yeah.
Anyway,
They're not
uh,
reliable.
we had TennoCon Live, which is the Warframe convention,
Yes.
and one of the big announcements from this, other than the Warframe stuff, which I'm not that bothered about because I don't play Warframe, was that they are working on a new free-to-play MMO. Um, it is called Soulframe, and it looks really weird from the trailer.
So in this,
Um,
is it in the Soulsborne universe?
yeah, it looks like it is, it's like a Souls-like
Yeah.
MMO sort of thing. So it's free
But it
to
still says
play.
frame. Like, it's
Yeah.
Warframe and now, like,
Well, I
Soulframe.
think the idea of Warframes is the Warframes are like the suits.
Yeah, yeah.
There's Soul Frame, so you're getting away from being in the suit, I guess. Um, so it's going to be the developers of Warframe, Digital Extreme. So they're also bringing on Airship Syndicate, which, if you don't know, they did Darksiders Genesis, like the new ARPG Darksider game, and then they also
Oh,
did.
yeah. Yeah.
Remember we talked about it? They were doing through Riot Forge. They made League of Legends Ruined King, the like turn-based combat game that was, I think it was exclusive on Epic for a little bit, but I think it's on Steam now and it has fairly positive
Okay.
reviews.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we have to wait until Gamescom until we actually get like gameplay from this.
Right.
It seems like you're like reclaiming nature. You like bonds with like a wolf. I guess that might be like a mount or something. But obviously there's not going to be too much news about games because everyone's waiting for Gamescom, which I believe is at the end of August. It's like somewhere around like the 20th of August or something like that. So we'll have to wait until we see more about that stuff. And then finally on trailers, we have the No Man's Sky Endurance update. So you can now live on freighters, Tony. They've done a
Oh,
complete like
right.
overhaul
Nice.
of freighters, so you can actually build like big freighters and have like full customization to them, similar to like the base building sort of experience.
Yeah. That's really
Because
cool.
some people don't want to live on planets; they want to live on their ships, very Star Trek like, Tony.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I was playing the new maps on the Power Simulator
Yeah.
the day before yesterday, and one of them you clean a UFO, and I'm cleaning the UFO and I'm reading the names and I'm like, the port nacelle, huh? The deflector dish, the warp drive. I'm like, I think someone over at fucking Power Simulator has been watching Star Trek. Like, there's quite a few Easter
And they
eggs.
watched Star Trek Picard and got angry and then added it to the
But
game.
this is very much more feels like it's more of a Star Trekky kind of update. Not that it is, but it's more in that like line sort of
Yeah.
thing. I've got the
Yeah,
French
I'm down for. I like bases on planets, but I like the idea of like yeah, because like you couldn't do like much customization like in space before, could you?
Well, immediately
Like
I
there's
look at
like
this and I go, "That's a dish. That's a Star Trek."
yeah,
Freighter overhaul, dynamic crew. So they'll now walk around your base. It'll make it
oh
feel like it's
nice,
more alive. Agriculture modules, so you can have expansive farms on your freighter.
yeah,
Black holes are more cinematic ever with new visual effects. Exterior freighter building, so you can build on the outside of your freighter. So this is the whole idea of
yeah, that's really cool.
if you don't want to build on a planet, you can just build on these big ships, sort of thing. They're also going ahead and adding base building quality of life options as well.
Okay,
It's a pretty cool like little update for you know um, letting people build more stuff. I feel like No Man's Sky has almost become like a base building game in a lot of ways. Like a lot of the
Yeah,
content
yeah.
seems to be pointed towards like that sort of aspect of people just building cool shits on planets, which I guess is sort of like the core gameplay loop. It's sort of more like a survival
E-
crafting game, but not really the survival game. I would
yeah.
think.
I think it's what people were asking for. I think they're just like listening to what people want and they're just adding
Mm,
that. I don't think they were really intending for a lot of this stuff originally.
yeah, yeah, no, that's pretty cool. There's no weird VR game of the week because there's no fucking VR games coming out. So,
Right.
oh, quick news: you can now run Stray on Doom. Someone
What?
has modded the Stray cat into Doom. Um, with
Hang
like
on.
full
What?
like
How does
3D models. It looks absolutely hilarious.
why?
Tony, ask why not? Why would you
But
not want to
how?
do that?
But can Stray run Doom?
I Oh, that's a great question, Tony. Now you're asking the real questions. Can Stray run Doom?
I just feel shouldn't it be that way around?
No, I prefer it this way.
Okay.
I want the thing
Okay.
about Stray is it's almost like a walking simulator sort of thing. Now, what you do is you take that
Yeah.
amazing experience and the experience of being a cat and Stray, and you add the gameplay of fucking Doom, and that's how you just make the best
Yeah, but
game.
okay. I'm just thinking like I want you got up like a computer in
Take the
Stray and like
gameplay of
run
one of the
about
best games
Doom.
of all time, you add it to a cat, and there it is.
Right.
Speaking of
Okay.
Doom, John Romero is working on a new FPS game. He's working on an all new FPS with an original new IP. Um, Hopefully, we're not getting another Daikatana, because yeah, when he worked
Oh,
on that, that wasn't
Daikatana.
great. But like all the stuff he's been doing,
Oh,
where he's been coming out with new like Doom map levels, recently has been really really cool. And
yeah.
um, I've said it before, Tony. Unreal Engine 5 buzzword again. Another Unreal Engine
Yeah.
5 title. I mean, you don't have to make a game in Unreal Engine 5, but I guess if you're going to make, cutting edge game, maybe you wanna. I just like it when people make their own engines. Like it just makes
Yeah. It's a
it so
giant
much
pain in
more
the ass
interesting.
though.
Like
Yeah.
you just get to see like really cool tech, and then you have people who have like an extensive knowledge of that engine. It allows them to push it further than other people could on other engines. But then you have a lot of people who are specialized and can only work on the engine if they move to another game company. It's
Yeah.
way more applicable to have like Unreal or Unity
I I
programming
also don't know
knowledge.
how much I also don't know how much these days like how much you can like have like tangent like I don't know how much you can like add to something like Unity or Unreal these days, like get close to like how another engine would work. Like if you want to add like if you want like a new engine for, like for a specific thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. You probably could add that functionality, like your own like addition to your game, like just
Mhm.
in addition to Unity or Unreal. But
Uh,
I don't know how in
oh,
depth you can do.
GTA Online actually did a huge amount of quality of life improvements in an update recently. So one of the big ones was one of the things I complained about is there was a lot of money making activities that required you to be in a public lobby in order to do them. So you would have to go and
But
get a car and
this
then like drive it across the map and then deliver it to a
right.
location, which is like
So
a
you'd
tick.
have to like load in like could you load in a public lobby by yourself? Like is it just like
There was like glitchy workarounds to try and get that to
okay.
work, but not really. But the problem
Right.
was one, public lobbies were full of hackers who would just immediately blow up everyone
Yeah.
across the map. And number
Yeah.
two, public lobbies are full of griefers because Rockstar and all their wisdom thought it was a good idea to power creep the fuck out of vehicles, where they were like, let's make a flying motorbike with a rocket launcher with homing missiles
Oh
on it,
god.
where they just
Oh
fly
god.
across the lobby and just blow the fuck out of anyone trying to do a mission in a public lobby. It just wasn't fun at all. Like I exclusively spent my time in private lobbies in GT Online, because there's just no point being in public lobbies because it's such a fucking
Yeah,
clusterfuck of griefers and hackers that it's not
that
worth
sounds
it.
awful.
But it's
Yeah.
nice to see they actually went, okay, this is a problem. It's not going to make us more money through shark cards. Let's address it anyway. So I guess maybe it could. People might buy more shark cards in from being able to do missions and private lobbies because they
Yeah,
liked the
if you've got
game. But
if you're not annoyed with the game, you more like to like interact with it in like the monetary stuff, right?
they did some like they changed how the leveling system works to smooth it out. They had some new weapons and some new cars and stuff like that. So nice to see. Rockstar really don't want to give up on GT Online. It's their big fucking cash cow. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like when the next gen update came out for like the Series X and the PS5, um, GTA 5 went back into like the top 10 bestsellers again. Like
Oh,
it was
really?
yes,
Okay.
people are still buying
It's
and playing
crazy.
this game like crazy for GTA Online. It's like I think it's fair enough. Like GTA Online is a pretty fun experience. Like it is pretty cool. I'm just really looking
Okay.
for because there's currently like rumors about GTA 6 and having
Yeah.
multiple protagonists, multiple cities that you can move between, having a female protagonist for the first time. Rumor, speculation. This all is.
I can't believe
So
it. I'm pissed as a sexist and
okay, well there it is. I don't really care. I mean, um,
it's a bit disappointing that people actually like said stuff like that. Like I'm memeing, but the fact that people are there, a bit disappointing, but there it is.
but oh, Minecraft said fuck NFTs. I
Oh
saw
yeah,
that.
like
I saw this
you
post on the
concerned, right?
news. Well, because I saw the headline because it was on
Yeah.
Reddit. I just saw Minecraft and NFTs was the headline, and I was like, "Oh god, what the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
But basically, there was a bunch of blockchain, crypto NFT servers being run
Yep.
on Minecraft servers,
Yeah.
and basically, Minecraft has completely shut this down and said we do not want this on Minecraft at all. Basically,
Yes, you
because
can't use their
they
API
felt
to like
like
do it now.
these sort of things, these scams that were going on, were negatively affected. The user experience. They didn't want people, and especially kids, because lots of kids play Minecraft. They
Yeah.
didn't want people to be exposed to this. It's sort of the opposite of Roblox, where they just make
Yeah.
fucking businesses out of selling shit to kids. I wonder what
Have you
Roblox's stance is on NFTs. I don't actually know.
Oh, they love it. Probably. I don't know. I don't know. Have you? Okay, I can't remember what they're called, but there's one of the NFT Minecraft things I failed by this. Like I can't remember what they're called, but I assume you didn't see like their response. Like it was just so funny. Like they were saying stuff like on the lines of, "Oh my god, Mojang have taken this stance. It's Web 2.0 versus Web 3.0, and we're gonna win." And they're gonna make their own new Minecraft with NFTs. So I'm looking forward to NFT Minecraft 2 coming out.
Right. I don't think Roblox has special NFT from what I can
One day.
see. They went public. They do have Robux. Everybody got. Okay, next up we have Steam news. Oh, I accidentally put this in here. Oh, you remember last week we talked about how Minecraft had the stance of if you get chat reported
Oh,
and banned, you would get banned
yeah,
from even privately hosted lobbies.
yeah,
Basically, people made a mod which completely like strips everyone who enters like their public account keys and stuff and signatures and stuff like that from when they join your third party hosted server. So you can't report people and get them banned from third party servers.
yeah. So
So
if you
there's
exclusively play
yeah,
on third-party things, this will protect you, I suppose.
yeah. So Steam news we have. Oh, Valve has a new policy, new rules for graphic assets captures. So, game banner art. So when you look at it
Yeah,
on the Steam store, a lot of the time what was happening was every time it would go on sale, it may have like a little banner in the corner that goes, on sale now, 90%
yeah,
off, or on the actual logo, it would say, winner of the best game of TIF Festival
yeah,
2000,
yeah,
and it would have so much text on the logo you would have no fucking idea what the game was actually called because there would just be so much text smeared all over the screen. And Valve said basically they do not want this anymore. So game banner art can no longer have any review scores of any kind, including Steam reviews or external news sources, no award names, symbols, or logos, no discount marketing copy, so no on sale now or 90% off text,
Yeah.
no text or imagery promoting a different product. This includes no marketing of sequels or other titles in the same franchise, and no other miscellaneous text.
Right. Okay. I
Which,
suppose like all of those things are already like serviced like elsewhere,
well, yeah, basically,
on
if you read
Steam.
this article, they go in to say, hey, if you want to talk about your reviews, we literally have a section on the store page for you to show reviews of your game, and then we have
Yeah.
Steam reviews underneath the game as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's literally a dedicated section on the store page for you to put up reviews of your game. And also another big thing was, like, we probably don't see it as much because we're English, but a lot of companies they would just write the text of the game in English, and when they localize it for
Oh.
different language, they wouldn't change
Yep.
the text at all.
Yeah.
So another change they made is if you include text, it must be localized into every language the game supports in Steam, which I think is a really good change.
Yeah.
Because
That's,
then
that's cool.
you're not going to be confused, like looking at a game in the store and it just has like random, you know, characters you don't know. Like let's say it's got like fucking Chinese characters on it. You're like, what the hell is this game? If they want to sell it to the English market, it's got to say the name of the game, so you at least know what you're looking at, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is a very good change because if you say that you support these languages, you should support these languages in everything when it comes to the banner art and the game itself. Yeah. You can still So one thing they are going to allow is they said they will still allow you to update banner art, show off recent updates or new content. So you
Okay.
can say say for example, Raft comes out of early access. You can say new content came out of early access. That's allowed because it's not like detracting from the actual poster itself. It's telling people that this is a game that is changing and it has changed recently, and it's useful information that is not taking away from the readability and the visibility of knowing what the game is,
Yeah.
which I
Yeah.
think is fine. I think if it's done tastefully, I think out of early access, new DLC, that's fine. I agree with them there because there is a lot of games where they do spend a lot of time in early access, or you have a big DLC expansion that completely changes the game, and you want to advertise that, which I think is fair enough. But
Yeah. That
basically,
makes sense.
Valve said that this rule will come into effect on September 1st, 2022. So we'll see how labels change. I don't know if because personally I've seen loads of, especially recently before this change, I've seen loads of banners have been changed to say on sale, 90% off or whatever, or review scores all over them. And I do think it was becoming a big problem of readability.
Yeah.
So what do you feel about this change? Do you think it's a good thing?
Um. My
Do you
own.
think it's needed?
I think. Yeah, I think it's needed. In my opinion, like I think one or two review scores is fine, but I can understand to codify this that you can there's no way to say because in my opinion, in the top of this article, you've got the four images, right?
Hmm?
The bottom left one, I think, is like a well done integration of the reviews. Like
Yeah, so
I
the
know that
images they
works for me
have
personally.
you're talking about is probably fine. So for the Steam Summer Sale this year, they made fake games in order
Yeah,
for you to try and pick them out in order to get you to go to the Steam store and look at new
yeah,
games.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I, I think it can be done tastefully. I just think the
I
problem
think the
is
codify it makes sense to
you
not have it
need
at
you
all.
need a blanket statement on this,
Yeah,
otherwise people are
exactly.
just going to take the piss. I think that's the
Yeah.
problem.
I think one thing I would like, so I think people it doesn't really
I mean,
bother me. It's not like how I
it
look
got
into
it
it, but
got
I know
it
that
it, it got best new game, but I don't know what the fuck the Upper Peninsula of Michigan Ventilator Sales and Marketing Awards is. Why is that important to me? Why should that get in the way of me understanding what the game is? If I want to look at the rewards and accolades you put in the game, one thing I'm going to go straight to the Steam reviews because it's the most useful thing on the store page. But I will also, I'm also going to look at YouTube. I'm going to watch videos on Twitch, and I may or may not look at the review scores that you have a dedicated section for on the store page.
Yeah.
There is no reason for you to put this stuff into the title. It just makes it way less accessible to a lot of people.
Yeah, well, I think, yeah, just one review score I think is fine, but yeah, again, like you can't. If people are taking the piss, then yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, really.
You also got to think about it from an accessibility standpoint. There's people like who have who are sight impaired, and they're trying to figure out what a game's called, and they've got all this crap all over the banner. Yeah. They're just gonna have no idea what the game's actually called, and that's gonna suck for a lot of people. So I think it is a good change, like from that standpoint. Let's talk about blunders this week, Tony. I'm glad we have a dedicated blunder section because there's so many fuck-ups in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
I put our friends under Roblox under here, so related to sounds, due to a licensing issue, we've removed the oof sound from Roblox and have created a replacement default sound which launches today. We plan to expand our avatar shop with a whole range of both old and new sounds in the future. More to come on this. I can't believe the most iconic sound in gaming is gone now. The oof sound effect from Roblox. I love that sound. Oof! The fucking,
it was like the old
so good at memes.
Minecraft Steve oof. That was good as well.
Oh, from like Minecraft.
Yeah, they changed that to like just like
they changed that. It was like,
it could have a sound.
Ooh.
Yeah,
they changed that sound.
Yeah, it's just like a damage sound now, like a physical like bone crunching or like.
I guess they wanted to change it because they added like Alex and they added like all the skins. And stuff
they wanted
to be
more. They didn't want to be like gender specific. Like it just would be like it can be anything.
Yeah, because I noticed that it's now just like a damage sound now instead of going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't know, so this is where the cinematic meme universe of the podcast gets crazy, Tony. This is where it gets fucking crazy. The guy who owns the rights to the sound is a guy called Talarico, and he created it, and he put the sound into a game called Messiah, which was a game from the 2000s, and it's like a baby falling backwards, and it just goes oof like that. That's where the original sound comes out. You can look it up, like Messiah, game. If you want to, if you want to look it up. I don't know if I could play it because obviously there's licensing issues. But the guy who made this sound, Tony, I shit you not, he is currently the president of Intellivision Entertainment, the CEO of the fucking, the president of the people making the fucking Intellivision Amnico owns the rights to the Roblox oof. Can you fucking believe how this meme has come full circle in the podcast universe? I'm always talking about the Intellivision Amnico. This is so funny to me. I'm hoping the Intellivision Amnico comes out, you turn on and it goes, oof. It just makes the oof sound from Roblox. That's what could redeem the console.
Walking on the screen and just oof, yeah.
That would completely redeem the console, in my opinion. If we had the oof as the startup sound, it would just.
Well, you're saying it needs to be redeemed. I thought it was going to be a perfect.
It's going to be obviously it's going to be the greatest console of all time.
Yeah.
But the oof sound as the startup sound would massively improve the user experience.
Yeah.
Man, I just hope we get more news about the Intellivision Amnico. I heard that they're bankrupt, they don't have the rights to any of the games anymore. They can't fucking make these things because of supply chains.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I feel like you can't call Intellivision Amnico the Ouya, because I think the Ouya came out, didn't it? Do you remember the Ouya console?
Came out.
And also,
people bought the Ouya.
The Soldier Boy console came out and got him in a lot of trouble because he was just repackaging fucking video game emulation from Nintendo.
Yeah. And there's some licensing stuff like hardware-wise as well.
Our
There are
good friends
problems.
over at EA are currently patenting a system that will generate in-game content and ads based on your playstyle.
Oh, excellent!
Yay! Do you love
Is it
this
gonna be one of
Web
those things, but it's
3.0
not in
future
use
of
right now?
gaming? Look, they just want to make sure they get their hands on the pan just in case. That rainy day
Yeah,
when they want to
I
implement this.
dis.
They're not going to
Yeah,
use it now. They might in the future. They just want to make sure they can.
yeah. Considering the pain in the ass it is to get through pans through,
Yeah.
like they're definitely planning to use it at the very least.
Also, we have an update. A Better Ubisoft, the group of Ubisoft developers who got together to demand better treatment of developers from
Yeah.
abuse and from Ubisoft management. They've said 1 year to the day that we're signed our open letter to Ubisoft management calling for far more action, tackle abuse, and setting uh, out our 4 key demands. None of our demands have been met.
That's crazy.
So apparently, 25% of people who signed the letter have just quit because it just
Yeah.
has not got better.
No.
Um, what was another thing that they said? I think they said a lot of the time they were just taking abusers and then moving them to different teams and then just
So,
hoping it all blows over, sort of thing.
well, sometimes as well, they moved different teams and then like technically promoted them as well. Like it
Yeah.
was kind of crazy.
Their 4 demands were they want to stop promoting and moving known offenders from studio to studio, team to team with no repercussions. This cycle needs to end. A
Yeah.
collective seat at the table to have a meaningful say in how Ubisoft as a company moves forward from here. Cross-industry collaboration to agree on a set of ground rules and process that a studio can use to handle these events in the future. Collaboration must heavily involve employees in non-management positions and unionize representatives. All I got to say
Yeah.
is, fuck Ubisoft, please unionize. I,
Yeah.
I just the shit sucks. Locking breast milk in fucking fridges, getting abused at fucking Ubisoft studios, like. This stuff is fucking insane. Like firing an entire Q&A team because they tried to unionize. Like,
Yeah. It's awful. I just find it crazy that like as far as I can tell, like Ubisoft done like pretty much nothing in like to do anything. They're not even
no, the CEO,
like
the CEO came out and said, "Guys, we're looking into it."
yeah. It's been a year, and then it's just horrible that nothing's happened. It's just they're just trying to bury it and like just not talk about it.
Oh, I need to update the
Absolutely
list
awful.
of the worst video game companies and
Yeah,
publishers. I mean, at the top we've got our friends over at Activision Blizzard and Ubisoft.
yeah. They're definitely near the top because they have like actual like really bad like cultural like sexual abuse problems in the workforce. So which is like and
Hmm,
also being like protected by management and executives.
I don't know anymore. Oh, our friends Squeenix are pretty bad.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know how bad their work environment stuff is though. But yeah, in terms of like customers and the player base, yeah.
yeah.
I mean they've been really fucking up.
Jesus, man. Let's move on to tech.
Yeah.
PlayStation has created a brand new officially licensed controller for PlayStation called Backbone One. What essentially it is it's taking that great hardware of like the PS5 sort of controller and then
Yeah.
turning it into like a mobile controller for playing mobile
That's
games and like PS Remote Play. So you just slot your phone
yeah.
into the controller and then you can play mobile. It's like a mobile gaming controller with like the Sony hardware behind it. It's like,
That's really
oh,
cool.
that's a really cool idea. Obviously, it's not.
I'm
It's nowhere near the same,
oh
level
no,
as the
no.
PS5 controller, but it does look
But if those
pretty impressive.
buttons yeah, if those buttons like press down like the PlayStation 5 controller,
Hmm.
that'd actually be really cool. I mean
I
it
immediately
looks the
looked at
part.
this and I was like, why is Sony making Joy Cons? Like, it looks like those switchy out Joy Cons almost. But I guess
Was it is a different company licensing PlayStation for their stuff?
let's have a look. Team in collaboration. PlayStation Initial Book by Design Team in collaboration with the brilliant minds at PlayStation. I think it's just PlayStation. Because PlayStation's been coming up with like specifically
Yeah, but this is
PlayStation and
officially
Sony.
licensed mobile controller. That implies you wouldn't need to license from yourself.
One thing I was also going to point out, I looked at this and I went, "That's a Thunderbolt connection." So are
Yeah,
you
this is for
only going to be
iPhones,
able to
right?
play it on iPhones?
Maybe they do. Maybe like have like a version for Android. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't actually know.
Is Backbone the name of the company?
They have a website. Let's go to their website.
Backbone. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's just for iPhone. I think it's literally just for iPhone, from what I can see, because it only has a
I mean,
Thunderbolt connection, so you wouldn't be able to use it on a
yeah.
USB-C Android device. Interesting.
There's a lot of iPhone users in America. To be fair, I mean, a lot of iPhone users everywhere, but like, there's a lot more in America.
Well, as an iPhone user, I'm going to get it.
Yeah,
I'm good.
you could get this.
I think it's
You need
dumb.
the licensed Xbox.
I think it's dumb they didn't make a USB-C version. That just does not make sense. And I
Maybe
think
that's coming in the
it's gonna get
future.
to a point. I feel like we're so close to the Apple going, okay, fuck it. We're either gonna remove the Thunderbolt port or we're just gonna put a USB-C in. Like it's coming to that point.
Yeah, I don't know what their rationale. I know they're giving like bullshit reasons like why they don't want to like change it, but I want to know what the actual reasoning is. That's what I want to know. Like, I'm really curious to know what they're actually thinking.
Because so like the PlayStation at Sony have been getting more and more into like the gaming side because they came out with a headset recently that was pretty good. Because
Mm.
Sony's been known for making very good headphones and like wireless headphones, like the is it
Yeah.
AM4s or the Sony
Uh,
earbuds as well are meant to be pretty
and
good for
yeah,
sound.
I can't. They're really okay. They do really good devices with really dumb names, so I have no idea.
Yeah, so they've been known for making really good headphones. And like fuck it, let's make gaming focused ones that can actually
Yeah.
sell. And then they've also been coming out recently with screens as well. So specifically gaming monitors they've been coming out with. There's like a 1080p one. There's a 4K one, but they just completely ignored 1440p because
Mm-hmm.
for the longest time PlayStation's been like you either game on 1080p or 4K. There's no in between. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay,
What?
if they're going to stick to that stance, they're going to stick to that stance. But then they just came out and said, hey, we're finally adding support for 1440p on PlayStation 5. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
what the fuck's going on? Like, you completely ignored an entire SKU of 1440p monitors with your new line. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. You don't support 1440p on the PS5.
Yeah.
And then you're adding 1440p support to the PS5? Like,
Well,
it just doesn't make sense.
I think these are like the two heads of like the Hydra head, or like two heads of the smaller heads of one Hydra head of the Hydra, right? I
Yeah.
think initially it's like we're only support 1080p and 4K. PS5 is like pushing for 4K. Why would we ever need to like have 4K? Then
Hmm.
people come like, guys, I have a 2K monitor. Can I have support
Yeah.
for 2K, please? Otherwise, I'm doing
But the thing
1080p.
is, a lot of games that are running on the PS5 are running in 1440p, especially if they're running in like high frame rate
Oh yeah,
mode.
yeah, yeah,
If
yeah,
they're
yeah. There's
running,
a dynamic resolution stuff,
yeah.
yeah.
No, a lot of
But
them
there's
just
like
like natively run in 1440p,
But this is more of a problem with whatever your
and then they're
monitor actually is. The
upscaled
fact
to
they're just like,
4K.
no, we don't need to like try and match monitor outputs.
So games, so they said games that natively support 1440p will be rendered at that resolution,
Hmm.
whereas 4K games will be downsampled for better anti-aliasing. So if you're
Makes
playing on a
sense.
1440p monitor, that's how it's going to work on the PS5 from now on. But it is a little confusing.
They just ignored like it's like quite a lot of people like were going like instead of going like straight up to 4K, they're like, oh, I want to upgrade the monitor, but I can't run 4K, so I get a 2K monitor.
hmm.
It's like it kind of made sense as like a
Well,
middle ground,
in
right?
my
Like I've got a
opinion,
2K monitor.
4K, 120 hertz is just not
Yeah,
reasonable
it's really
on
difficult.
any
Yeah,
system in the world. The most powerful
yeah.
PCs just can't do it.
No,
It's not like 1440p, 120 FPS is the sweet spot in gaming right now. Like
yeah. Right now, it's perfect.
you can get a pretty decent image at like 4K 60, but
Yeah.
there's still like massive trade-offs where you might not be able to turn up the ray tracing. You're gonna need image reconstruction technology like DLSS or FSR 2.0.
Yep.
You know, it's just not. 4K is too tough right now.
Yeah, we need
Like
better
the
hardware.
big push for the gaming consoles is the 4K because the 4K is a big difference in image quality. Like
Yeah,
I
you can tell.
I have a 4K OLED downstairs with the high refresh rate, and it looks really really fucking clean. But it's like I watch TV programs on it, right? I'm not gaming
Yeah,
on it because it's just not feasible to
yeah.
be doing that sort of thing. Like if I was going to make a monitor upgrade these days, the next thing I would upgrade for is not resolution, it's OLED. I think OLED's
hmm
what like the big thing that I'm looking forward to.
Like pure
Um,
contrast and like black levels and
yeah,
yeah, that sort like accurate
but
colors and stuff. Yeah,
it's cool to see that they've finally supported this feature for the people who have been wanting to play in their 1440p monitors for a long time, but it just
yeah.
doesn't make sense. They've released these monitors, but they
Oh yeah, because yeah.
fucking confusing.
But I feel like people from the very start of PS5 were like, I've got a 2K monitor and it's not working properly. So I feel like it's good that they're finally doing this, at
Yeah.
least. But yeah, it's a bit, yeah, again, two heads of a Hydra, not really
Next up,
talking
we
properly.
have VR. Oh, there was a Steam VR Fest, Tony. It was
What?
it was okay. It was mostly a sale. It was not
Oh,
really.
okay.
It was not really like a fest where you release demos. There was a couple of demos, and I tried a couple of them during the fest. But they hosted it during the hottest week in UK history.
Yeah,
Literally the hottest
yep,
day in UK
yep,
history. And I was
yep.
just like,
Literally the
why the fuck
hottest.
can't we have this pushed another festival back so they could host it now? So people were like, okay, they pushed another festival back to make this come out. They've got something big to announce with this festival. Nope, nothing. It was a sale on VR games. That's what it was. There was a couple of demos, but no one makes VR games, so they were all fucking shit. There was nothing there. I feel like I'm so close to just completely giving up on VR demos because they're just so fucking awful experience to play VR demos because you
Right,
put it on for like 10 minutes. There's like nothing there. You feel fucking sick. They're not optimized at all, and it's just like a waste. VR demos are just a waste of time. They're literally a waste of
right.
time right now.
That is disappointing, considering I feel like you'd want to know whether the game actually works for you or not before buying.
You know how many VR demos I've played during these VR, like these Steam demo festivals?
Yeah,
Like, I really want to try new VR games, but it's just not happening. It just doesn't exist.
it's unfortunate.
Valve came in, they made Half-Life Alyx the best VR game of all time. They set the bar and said, this is, the ultimate standard. No one could ever live up to them, and that was it. They walked away.
Well, I don't even need like people to live up to the standard. We just want to like slowly raise the bar, don't we?
We have
Like
good
just need
VR
to be
games.
better.
We have stuff like Boneworks. We have
Yeah,
stuff like that. Just trying to think of my favorite. Like I love Dawn. It's one of my favorites.
I
Super
do. I do
VR.
feel like
I
we're in
love
a little bit of
Electronauts. I
a.
love Pistol
I think we're
Whip's
in a bit
another
of a.
amazing one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There
Do
is
you not?
tons of really cool VR games coming out, but then I see like a new VR game and it's just Beat Saber again, but slightly different, and I'm
Yeah.
like, are we like idea bankrupt when it comes to
I
VR
feel like
games?
yeah. I feel like we're in a bit of a lull right now, where it's like it's probably like people
Tony,
don't see it
I'm
as
not
worth.
joking when I say to you, I'm legitimately the most excited to play Among Us VR right now.
Mm-hmm.
Among Us
I
VR should
didn't.
not be the flagship title of
Yeah,
this year.
I didn't. I didn't appreciate at the time when like we were talking about it. That I didn't appreciate like that not many like innovative VR games are coming out, or
I want
not
to
even
play.
necessarily innovative, but exciting VR
I
stuff.
want to play What the Bat. That looks cool. Anything
Yeah,
else? Not really.
it's a shame because like a couple of years ago, like there was like we're excited for new stuff, right? I feel like it's just died
Yeah.
down.
Well, Tony, some other great news. Meta is increasing the price of the Quest 2 2 years
Oh
after
yeah.
release. They're
Oh
increasing the
god,
price from
yeah.
$300 to $400 in August. Tony, I don't think so. this is unprecedented in VR. I don't think it's just unprecedented in VR that you've
I think
increased the price of a product 2 years later. I think this is unprecedented in life, from what I
I think it's
know
unprecedented in all, in at least hardware, console hardware. Because okay, one thing I would say is that cars have gone up in price when they shouldn't have done, like old cars. So, but
Old
consoles have
cars
never really done this.
from second-hand selling.
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm talking about specifically from the first party
No, yeah,
going up in
no.
price.
Even today, like first party people also increasing the prices. Like that's happened in the car industry. But in
But
terms of like console hardware, that never happened.
think about graphics cards. Graphics cards were unobtainable.
Yeah.
They were huge supply. They were the most in-demand thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
MSRP for them was never increased.
No,
When they came out
you're
with a
right.
new SKU, a new product, they raised MSRP to try and make a little bit of money. They didn't go,
Yep.
you know what? The
This 2-year-old one.
3080, this 3080 that's the exact same thing, 2 years
Yep.
later it's pretty popular. We're going to increase the price because we want to
Let's
make more money.
increase the MSRP. Yeah.
So let's get some stuff out of the way. I understand that Meta is taking a massive loss on these
It's like
headsets.
$3 billion or something, isn't it? Like they've
But
taken a loss.
they were doing this in order to get a market share of people using their headsets, buying from the
Yeah.
Oculus store.
They were doing it on purpose. They knew what they were doing. They were taking the hit for the future, in their opinion.
If they wanted
in Zuckerberg's idea.
to change the price, they should have came out with a new SKU that has a change with it.
Yeah.
That
Stop manufacturing the old ones, create new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I agree.
that's reasonable. Like,
yeah, that's reasonable.
I mean,
It's still not
obviously,
going to be worth it, but it's more reasonable than this.
now they've said they're going to bundle Beat Saber with purchases from August 1st to December 31st.
Yeah.
This is the year 2022 if you're watching Future Joe, which I usually do. Watch about the podcast so I can see what I said about products.
Yeah.
It's current year.
Current year.
They've said you have the window from July to August where they're not going to raise the price. I think they're almost going, let's get the FOMO going. Guys, if you haven't bought Quest 2, we need to get rid of a load of stock. The Cambria is coming out at the end of this year. Guys, everyone buy Quest 2 now or you're going to lose out and then you'll have to spend more on a Quest 2.
The whole thing sucks. Like hardware, 2 years old, nothing's changed, and it goes up by 100. Every SKU of it's gone up by is every SKU's gone up by $100? Oh, also, isn't it like the accessories and the spare parts have gone up as well in pricing?
Yes, they have as well.
It's like, oh my god, they're just increasing everything.
So the prices for accessories and refurbished units have gone up as well.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but anyway, because the Quest 2 when it came out, I was like, this is an insane value proposition. I recommend lots of people to get this because it was an insane value proposition. I have recommended it to friends and they've bought the headset and it's been their gateway into VR because it's an affordable VR headset.
Yeah, yeah.
But the problem is you just don't have much choice these days. I mean, Valve's gone AFK. Meta
where is it?
buys everything, every VR developer under the sun to make Meta exclusives.
Yeah.
PlayStation is like, well, why would we need to plug a PlayStation VR headset into a PC? This is a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Because Sony does real legitimate stuff for VR development, which is cool, but they want to make their stuff exclusive as well.
But it is exclusive, though.
Destroys the market by splitting it up.
Yeah.
And then what are your other alternatives? You have like the G2 Reverb, the Pimax 8 fucking K or whatever it is, like.
Yeah, well, I think at some point
the Windows mixed reality.
There's tons of stuff coming up from the like above $1,000 range. Like there's some like crazy like $2,000 stuff. Like hardly anything is like trying to push it down. So it's absolutely ridiculous.
I think the PSVR 2 is going to be affordable, but
yeah,
I wish you could plug it into PC. I would legitimately buy a PSVR 2 if you could plug it into a PC. It seems like a really good headset.
100%, 100%. I think a lot of people would as well. Like, I think that's the crazy thing. I honestly think, I know, like, my thing is, like, if you sold hardware that could be the agnostic to like PlayStation or like PC, but then like you have like your own I mean, I still don't like this as a concept. Like, if you had like exclusive software on your platform, I think you would it would do a lot of good. I mean, obviously, like I would want all software to be available on all platforms. I think the splitting of VR to three distinct regions is like really bad for early VR development, and I think it's just stifling the market. Like, it's just slowing it down.
The reason that they were selling these at such high volume at such a high loss was because it was to get people into this idea of the metaverse, Web
Yeah,
3.0.
where they would make that's where they'd make their money. Like, it's like the
What going
microtransactions
to
stuff.
what was it called, like Horizon Focus or something, or these social, basically VR chat without legs, um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and where you couldn't do anything, and you would put a headset on for hours to do work for no reason. Um,
Oh yeah, did you see that people have like businesses have tried it and like they report that like people felt more sick, people felt worse about their job and like they got less work done. And they didn't see the point of it.
but it's like, man, I really hope that the rumors about the Steam Deck are true, because I really just I
Yeah.
want to upgrade VR, but I don't want to go Oculus. I don't want to go fucking MetaQuest. Like I'm
No.
hoping for a good standalone VR headset, and I'm really hoping that Valve pulls their finger out, because help me, Valve, you are my only hope right now. And it's sad to say that because they don't give a shit. So
Well, I think even if they did as well, like I think that like they're having problems with the Steam Deck stuff right now. They're going to be focusing on that for at
there was
least the next
actually
year.
a report recently that because we had a report before that they delayed the dock to get more
Yeah.
production of the um, Steam Decks out. They actually put out
Yeah.
a post recently saying that they're actually making more than they thought they could. They're actually fulfilling
Oh,
orders
okay.
now, and
Oh, right.
people
Yes,
that
so all is
and
coming out now. Okay, nice.
I think everyone up to like everyone is who's ordered a Steam Deck for this year is going to get a Steam Deck this year. They've said that.
Oh,
They've
nice.
like bumped
Okay.
people up as well.
Yeah, 'cause I know that I knew they found other manufacturers to start helping, so
Yeah.
that's good.
Well, speaking of VR chat, Tony, VR chat's fucked up recently.
Oh
Um,
god, what have they
VR
done?
chat wanted to implement a security update. So
Okay.
one of the things we did was they were like, well, why don't we just introduce easy anti-cheat? Because VR chat, the modding scene is huge for VR chat. I don't know if you know. People make custom
Yeah.
avatars that just do crazy
Yep.
stuff. They make custom worlds,
Yep.
that sort of stuff. That's what makes the game so interesting. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
One of the things they said, well, someone can come into my game and he can use like mods to crash my game, sort of thing. Which they're like, okay, obviously we don't want the user experience of public lobbies. Someone goes in for the first time, someone crashes their game constantly. It's just ruined by cheaters, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, because I think the current advice when it comes to VR chat was always been you should try and play in private lobbies. That's probably the best
Yeah,
experience.
to start with, yeah.
Yeah.
And see if you can go further. Yeah.
Um, but they went, okay, we're going to start a security update and we're going to add easy anti-cheat. In order to curb the use of game modifications. This caused enormous community backlash. I think the game went to mostly negative on Steam. I think
Oh
pretty
really?
much every
Okay.
single person who saw this change said, "This is going to kill the fucking game. This is an awful change." 'Cause
Yep.
if they make the product, but if they would understand that the entire point of VR chat is about customizing your appearance in VR. Do you understand how many VR chat maps have mirrors in them? Because people love looking
Mm-hmm.
at their avatars in VR. They like having this
Well,
persona
so
in
yeah,
VR.
some of them put hours and hours and hours and put like spend real money to get other people to do it for them, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they put a lot of fucking effort into it.
And this is going to completely destroy a lot of mods, including people who don't have powerful high-end PCs to run VR. There is like third-party mods that are adding FSR support to VR in order
Oh,
to
that's
allow
cool.
people to run it onto lower-end systems. This
That's
completely
really
broke
cool.
that with this easy
Oh
anti-cheat
my
update.
god.
Um, so we've got an update from the VR chat team. They said, since the announcement yesterday, we got a lot of. Okay, another thing I wanted to mention quickly. Everyone who was critical of this update was banned from criticizing it, basically.
Oh, that's really
Yeah, so
stupid.
they basically they censored everyone who said this is a bad change.
Yeah. They did a CCP thing. Okay, good.
So, since the announcement yesterday, we got a lot of feedback from you regarding the incoming VR chat update that integrates Easy Anti-Cheat. We are reprioritizing, reorganizing, and changing our internal development roadmap to focus on the feedback you're giving us. Let's follow up with the hard part. We are going to be releasing this update, and we do not have any plans or intent to revert or roll it back. However, we hear and see you saying that many of the modded client features that are being lost due to the extremely important to you, or in some cases allow you to use VR chat at all, talking about FSI in performance improvements, when in regards to modifications that added accessibility features the VR chat currently lacks. Added these concerns and feedback as our highest priority. We are changing our internal development roadmap to prioritize and focus on these features and additions you want. So basically, what they're saying is, we're not going back on the Easy Anti-Cheat update, but we hear you, and we may implement some of these features.
My opinion on this, I don't understand. I can kind of get behind the idea of like they're trying to get rid of like cheaters and problems and crashing and things like that.
Yeah.
But if they've just, to me, they haven't actually said, like, they haven't actually agreed with the community, because surely what you do is, we fucked up. We won't be initially bringing out the VR anti-cheat or the anti-cheat system.
We'll wait for this to blow over.
Because it fucks up. Because it fucks you up. But we're gonna add the anti-cheat later once we've figured out how to make it work with all the modifications. But instead, it's like, no, we're gonna bring up what we want first, then fix what you want.
Yeah.
It's like that's the wrong order of doing things.
What is it they say? Like, trust is really hard to build, but once you break it, it's almost impossible to get back, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And stuff like this just destroys your trust with your community. So even if they go back and they go, okay, let's take the FSR mods, let's take the accessibility mods that allow disabled people to play the game. Let's implement the quality of life stuff into the game and accessibility stuff into the game. And they make it a really good update. There's people who are never going to play VR chat again because you did this in the first place.
But also, does that entirely solve the issue? Like, yes, you're adding features in that people have like modified themselves, but like that still doesn't allow other modifications could eventually come about anymore. Like in the future.
It's funny because VR chat is the metaverse that Mark Zuckerberg wants.
Mm-hmm.
It's the metaverse community that Mark Zuckerberg wants, but he doesn't understand what people in VR actually want to do, which is also apparently what the VR chat developers also don't understand.
Yeah.
It's not about having cookie cutter fucking avatars and going into a room and talking to people. It's about having a completely different persona, virtual reality, being completely immersed in it.
Part of that is self-expression that you're like this act like you can actually feel like it's you.
I don't know, man. This is dumb.
This really is a blunder week, Joey. Can we name this one the Blunderbus?
The Blunderbus. That's a good. That's why I don't write the titles before it goes live on YouTube, Tony.
Because like half of this, like half an hour of this podcast has just been blunders.
And there it is, Tony. I'm updating the title. The Blunderbus. You'll love to see it.
Oh my god.
Tony, business news. UK will not ban video game loot boxes despite problem gambling findings. So they basically were like, yeah, we found that, there's problems with kids getting addicted to loot boxes in games, but it's not gambling, so it's fine. Yeah. Basically what they said was they were like, you know what, we'll create a fund and a committee in order to help people and promote awareness about this sort of things and help to guard people from this. But we're not actually going to fucking do anything about it.
Considering how long it took to get like gambling and like alcoholism like under control in this country, I'm really not surprised.
You think it's under control? Have you watched a football match?
Yeah, I know, but it's way better than it was.
You watch the fucking World Cup, and then the second it goes off the screen, Ledbrooks, you can bet on 20% on this fucking Kane to score in the next 20 seconds. We'll give you crazy odds. Make sure you fucking bet on this shit. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, there's children watching this. Like,
yeah. Also, I think it was 2 years ago. Like the report there was like, oh, the gambling committee doesn't, or whatever it is called, like didn't want to do it because they didn't want to add more to their load. Basically, it just really sucks.
Yeah. All right, let's go into delays, cancellations, and announcements, and then we'll end the podcast. So, Wrath of the Lich King Classic arrives September 26th. Papers, Please is coming to mobile August 5th. This was kind of like a crazy shock announcement, but seems really cool. I fucking love Papers, Please. I think it's one of the best games of all time. So definitely check that one
That's
out.
great. It's really cool.
And delays, unfortunately, one of the games I was really excited for, Warhammer 40k Darktide, has been delayed to November 30th. They said it was due to some technical issues. I think they want to polish it. So the PC version is delayed to November 30th, and the Xbox version we don't have an official release date for. They said it's going to launch sometime after PC. They may even go into the next year for the Xbox version. Lord of the Rings Gollum has been delayed by a few months. And everyone's favourite game from Ubisoft, the Avatar game I forgot exists, has been delayed to 2023, 2024. The real sad news was there was a Splinter Cell VR game development that's been completely cancelled.
Yeah. That's like cancelled, right? Like it just like never come in.
They were just like, oh fuck this shit. Because there's been
like people really like Splinter Cell stuff, and it's like, no, gonna not do anything with it.
Well, Splinter Cell fans didn't want a VR game; they wanted a Splinter Cell game. But then they made a VR game and then they cancelled it.
Yeah,
because Ubisoft was like, how do we get into the metaverse, NFTs, cryptocurrency? Because I think they're making an Assassin's Creed VR game. Is a rumor that they're going to try and go ahead with that instead. Also, have you heard? Apparently, Assassin's Creed, they're going to make it a live service game where they just keep adding content onto one Assassin's Creed game over and over again from now on. They're not going to make separate Assassin's Creed games anymore.
Considering what the actual appeal, like what people would still like from Assassin's Creed, I feel that's a terrible idea, but maybe it'll work.
You've been listening to the Blunderbus. Fuck Ubisoft. If you want to hear more blunders on the Blunderverse, make sure to check us out on and everything in between podcast on YouTube. Type Peter's name in there if you want to find us. Twitch.tv/Scorn if you want to watch us live, and at Scorn2000 on Twitter if you want to follow me there for some reason. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.